Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna and I'm a little bit spooky, and today we're going to talk about some Charlotte Tilbury dupes, specifically some Pillow Talk dupes, but I do have some other ones thrown in. So let's get started, but before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know some of your favorite Charlotte Tilbury dupes in the comments down below, and yeah, let's get into the video. So I'm going to start off in order of application here with skin. Now I don't have every single product to compare, but I've had experience with the product, or I've touched it, kind of played with it when someone else I know has it or whatever, and you know, little research here. And yeah, I think I've come up with a good little list of dupes to try out. So first thing I want to talk about is Flawless Filter, of course. Everyone's favorite product to dupe lately. I don't have the e.l.f. Halo Glow at the moment. I think I might get my little hands on it tomorrow, just because the curiosity is getting to me on that one. You know, I try to talk myself out of it, saying, girl, you got enough glowy products, you don't need it. But there's a part of me that wants it. Anyway, if you can't get your hands on the e.l.f. Halo Glow, I do have a really good dupe option for you from the drugstore, and that is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I think this is a fantastic dupe if you use the lighter shades of Flawless Filter, and this does come in, I believe, 4 shades. So I think there is something for everybody within this little range, and it doesn't quite have the pigmentation level that Flawless Filter does, so you get a little more leeway with this one than what you do with Flawless Filter. Flawless Filter itself from Charlotte Tilbury does retail for $49. Comes in 12 shades, and it is described as a complexion booster that blurs, smooths, and illuminates skin for a real-life filter effect. And you can wear it alone, under makeup, mixed in with your foundation, or over top. And I think it performs beautifully in all those ways. I have a lot of experience with Flawless Filter. I have 2 of them, in fact. I have the 2 lightest shades. To me, with Flawless Filter is another one of those products you do get a lot of leeway with. Everyone couldn't find an option within this, but they did expand the shade range, which is nice to have a little more nuance within it. But it's still a fairly sheer product. It's not really doing much for covering anything on the face. It's more just an enhancing product. So you do have like a lot of leeway with that. It is nice to see the other undertones. But personally, I have the 2 lightest shades, and I really can't tell much of a difference between the 2. They're virtually the same in my opinion. So on one side of the face, I will be putting Flawless Filter, and on the other, I'm going to put the Lumi Glotion. Now, the Lumi Glotion retails for $15.99. It comes in 4 shades. It has it's described as a natural glow enhancer. It instantly hydrates and illuminates the skin for an all-over glow. So it doesn't have the smoothing claim or the perfecting claim that Flawless Filter has, and it doesn't. It doesn't quite have that filtered effect, but it does have the glow. Like, the glow is very comparable, if not just a little bit toned down with the Lumi Glotion, but the hydration you get from it is also really nice, because you can treat it as a hydrating primer, and I don't feel like it emphasizes pores. Same with the Flawless Filter. Like, it's one of the few glow enhancing products that I feel like doesn't enhance fine lines, pores, or texture. And the same to me is true for Glotion. I've tried the 4-in-1 Perfector from Maybelline and a few other glowy products that are kind of similar, and I feel like they just settle in every little fine line, little pore, bit of texture. It is all so emphasized that I can't stand them. Like, I really don't like the Maybelline 4-in-1 Perfector at all. But the Glotion, I think, is a beautiful option if you're looking for a nice dupe to Flawless Filter at the drugstore. And you can also use this one on the body. You get a fair amount of product within here. You get at 1.3 ounces. It looks really pretty on the arms, décolleté, chest. And Flawless Filter, you do get, let's see how many ounces are in here. Oh, here it is. You get 1 fluid ounce of Flawless Filter. All right, and moving on to the foundation. I don't have the foundation on hand, but I've tried a sample of it, used it, enjoyed it, and that is the Beautiful Skin Foundation. This retails for $49, comes in 30 shades, and it is a 16-hour natural glow with buildable medium coverage to hydrate, smooth, blur, brighten the skin, and has hyaluronic acid. Now my dupe for this is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator Tinted Skin Veil. The names of these products. And this retails for a whopping $6.99. And this is available in 7 shades, so there is a downside there, is that the shade range is incredibly limited compared to Charlotte Tilbury. The Wet n Wild Tint Hydrator is also formulated with hyaluronic acid and has vegan squalane as well. It is a buildable sheer to medium coverage, semi-matte finish for a natural glow, very much pretty similar claims, if not the exact same claims, as the Beautiful Skin Foundation. And what I have found with the Tint Hydrator is that it looks absolutely stunning on the skin. And I wouldn't even call it a semi-matte. I would call it just kind of a skin-like radiant finish. Like, I feel like that's misleading to call it semi-matte. Because, me personally, I don't think it's very matte. I think it's a nice glowy foundation that has fantastic wear time. Like, you can definitely get damn near 16 hours out of this. It performs really well on my oilier skin type. I've worn it through the summer. It's performed beautifully. It looks so flawless on the skin. Like, it truly looks like an incredibly expensive foundation. Like, I would never guess in 100 years that this was something from Wet n Wild, because it is so beautiful. Like, look how smooth my skin looks. It is truly flawless. It blurs the skin, which it doesn't even claim to do, but I think it has a beautiful blurring quality to it that just looks absolutely stunning. It doesn't gather into any fine lines, any wrinkles, doesn't sit into pores. It just flows over top of them and looks absolutely stunning. This is a 10 out of 10 winner from out of all foundations, not just the drugstore. This is a beautiful product, and I think it is very similar to the Beautiful Skin Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. Next, let's talk about some setting powder. The Airbrush Flawless Filter Setting Powder from Charlotte Tilbury. This retails with $48, comes in 4 shades, and is an ultra-fine powder that blurs imperfections, reduces shine, has a natural finish, and light reflecting pigments. And my dupe of that is the number 7 Triple Action Lift and Illuminate Setting Powder. Now, this is one I think went viral ages ago, and people have mentioned it being a dupe, but the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Pressed Powder retails for a whole $12.99. It is now in different packaging than what it is here, which this packaging, the older packaging, looks exactly like Charlotte Tilbury, except it's silver. They have since changed the packaging on all their products. But yeah, it says online it's available in 4 shades. I could only find 3. But its claims are that it diffuses light for a flawless illuminated finish, leaves skin looking smoother and radiant, and blurs. Basically the same claims as the Charlotte Tilbury, and I think it performs absolutely beautifully. Like, your pores will disappear. Like, it is such a beautiful setting powder. It's incredibly lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It doesn't look cakey or chalky or heavy. It is a very lightweight. It has a very lightweight texture, very finely milled, and it has the same light reflecting qualities the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder has. These names are going to trip me up this whole video. It sets makeup absolutely beautifully, gorgeous under the eyes for setting your concealer. It's one of my favorites for under the eyes. This has been one of my go-to kind of testing powders, because it's one that I trust, love, have used for a couple of years now. It is such a beautiful product, and I highly recommend it. It's available at like Walgreens. I think Target carries number 7. And I want to say Ulta started carrying it online. Don't quote me on that one. It's a stunning product, and I don't think you'd be disappointed in it. $48 to $12.99 for something that performs just as well, if not, from what a lot of people told me, better. I would say go with the number 7. And it is a beautiful product all around. Like, even if it wasn't a dupe product, I think it's just a great powder. Same with the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. Like, these two together are such a dream team for beautiful, flawless skin. Now, moving on to some bronzer, we have the Beautiful Skin Sun Kissed Glow Bronzer, which retails for $58 and is available in 4 shades. This is a 16-hour cream bronzer that is meant to blur the skin and hydrate with hyaluronic acid. And yeah, claims to be very long wearing, and from what I've gathered, kind of like water resistant. My dupe for that is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. This is available in 7 shades, so you have more options. It's only $7. And it's a putty to powder formula, pigmented and buildable. It says it smooths and evens out the complexion, just like the Charlotte Tilbury one claims. And the putty bronzer was on the market well before the Charlotte Tilbury one, which is what's funny about it. I think it's kind of an accidental dupe. And it also is infused with vitamin E and argan oil. So you also have that as well. And the texture is very similar. I think the e.l.f. one's a little more emollient than the Sunkissed Glow Bronzer, where it's a little bit more putty, kind of a drier cream formula. But they both apply pretty similarly on the skin. I have the shades Tan Lines, and it is pretty much almost exactly the same as the medium shade from Charlotte Tilbury. Obviously, one is a bit more pigmented than the other, so I use a lighter hand with the Sunkissed Glow Bronzer than I would with the e.l.f. one. The e.l.f. one I can kind of just go in with and build up if I wanted to, because it is a little bit more gently pigmented, and I would say that's not a bad thing, because with the Charlotte Tilbury one, I do have to use a lighter hand, but I also have the shade medium, and I'm a ghost. So let me show you a quick comparison swatch side by side, just so you can see how similar they look. And yeah, with the e.l.f. one, you do get a bit more of a emollient formula, but it does go kind of more to a powdery finish on the skin, and it doesn't slip and slide or anything like that. And they both apply really well over powder. I haven't had any trouble with that. So here's the e.l.f. one, and we'll go with the Beautiful Skin. Beautiful Skin one is just a little bit of a stiffer formula. And you see it's much deeper on initial application, like in a swatch. But what happens when you shear that one out and then shear this one, they pretty much look the same. It's just the floss filter, or the Charlotte Tilbury one is a bit deeper, but if I had the light shade, I think they would be just absolutely dead on. But you can build the e.l.f. one up to look pretty much comparable, just with a little bit extra layering up there. And you can see they're pretty much the same. And they equal out to look like the same product pretty much on the skin. And they both go to that lovely powdery finish, and they blend out both very beautifully. I do really need to get the lightest shade of the Beautiful Skin one, just because I really do enjoy even though there is a $7 dupe, I want the Charlotte one too. Now there is going to be a product size discrepancy here as well. I think in the Beautiful Skin you were getting 21 grams, and the e.l.f. one you're getting 10 grams. But I mean, you're also saving $40. So, I mean, and again, the e.l.f. one also comes in 7 shades, so you can definitely find a good match within it. And they have the luminous formula as well. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't speak to the claims of the luminous version, but for the good old original putty bronzer, I think it's beautiful. I love it. It's definitely been a go-to product for me. As you can see, I have definitely put a dent in it. All right, let's talk about a very viral dupe and something that was out of stock forever, which now I do believe you can get your hands on pretty easily, and that is the Beauty Light Wand, or Beauty Highlighter Wand in Pinkgasm. Retails for $42. The dupe for this is the Mega Glow Makeup Blush Stick and Peach Bombs from Wet n Wild, which retails for $4.99. I mean, the price difference is insane on this one as well, and it is a different type of formulation. The highlighter wand, the Beauty Light Wand, is a liquid, whereas this is a stick, but the color is pretty much dead on from what I have gathered and swatched and seen in person and online. They're virtually the same, and I think this is a great product on its own as well, not just as a dupe. And this was something that has been on the market forever. This was a hidden gem from Wet n Wild. All these sticks are hidden gems from Wet n Wild, by the way. And they just recently expanded the range and added some more shades, and now they're infused with like vitamin E and some other benefits that I don't believe before that they were. But anyway, what I do is I apply this with a brush, and I just brush onto the stick and pounce it onto the face. That's what it looks like. It has a beautiful glow. It's not greasy. It's not sticky. It just sits really nicely on the skin like any other cream blush would. It's not heavy feeling, and it blends out beautifully. Has an amazing warm golden glow to it with that peachy pink undertone. It's definitely one of my favorite things from Wet n Wild. Hands down, it's a beautiful product. It looks good on the skin. I use it so frequently just on the day-to-day because it looks so nice just thrown on the cheeks when I'm not fooling with anything else. It's just a good product. And it's one of those things that you don't even have to use a highlighter with it. It's your blush highlighter in one. Looks fantastic. And you can apply a blush with it and it still looks really pretty. And speaking of blush, the Cheek to Chic blush in Pillow Talk, which retails for $42. I think a decent dupe of that is definitely the CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones in Sophisticated Sable. When you swirl them together, it looks pretty much like the Pillow Talk shade. It's that dusty rose, not super pinky shade. It's kind of just beautiful. It's one of my favorite all-time blushes. I mean, I don't think you would be able to tell the difference on the skin in person if somebody had Pillow Talk on or Sophisticated Sable. They are pretty damn close. It's just a really pretty kind of neutral dusty rose type of color. And yeah, and the Instant Cheekbones retails for $5.97 on Amazon. It's the only place I can find it recently is on Amazon. I don't know if these have been discontinued. So if so, get your hands on Sophisticated Sable because I don't think you'll regret it if you are of a lighter skin tone. If you're a deeper skin tone, they do have some other shades that are absolutely beautiful and very, very vibrant. I've had multiple different shades of this formula in the past. It's a gorgeous product on its own, not just as a dupe, but what you have is a deeper shade, a lighter shade, and then a really kind of highlighty shade, and swirled together, these look so much like the Pillow Talk blush that it is kind of insane. And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it does save you quite a bit of money there to get that kind of Pillow Talk vibe on the cheeks. It also pairs really, really well with the Mega Glow Stick. I think they look pretty together. And now moving on to the eyes, we have the Pillow Talk eyeliner. The Pillow Talk eyeliner I have on hand here is one of my favorite eyeliners. Mine's getting a little bit dry, and I did not want to spend the $29 on another one. So I've been on the hunt for a dupe from the drugstore for quite some time. Like, I have bought so many freaking pencils, swatched so many pencils, trying to find a great dupe of the Pillow Talk eyeliner at the drugstore, and girl, it ain't been easy. Swatch of the Pillow Talk liner right here, just so you can see what it looks like. And my dupe for this is the NYX Epic Wear waterproof eyeliner in the shade Burnt Sienna, which retails for $9. So, I mean, a savings of $20, hell yeah. And I found it at Target, easy to get my hands on. And it was one that I have looked over a million times because I thought it was just a brown eyeliner. And on the website, even in the swatch on the website, it looks brown. But in person, it is a deep burgundy, just like the Pillow Talk one. But I feel like it has a little bit more depth to it. That is the only difference, is that it's just a tad darker, but and a little bit cooler. But when they blend out on the eye, you kind of really can't tell the difference. One just looks like a built up version of this one. And honestly, I think the formula of the Epic ink is a little bit nicer. It's a little more blendable and it wears a super long time, as does the... I thought it was a fantastic formula, but this, the Epic Wear from NYX, you kind of cannot beat this. This is a beautiful product. And yeah, you do get a little bit of time to kind of blend it. And when you blend them, they really start to look quite similar. Yeah, I think they're great. And I feel like the Epic Wear is just a little more creamy than the Charlotte Tilbury one. The Charlotte Tilbury one's a little bit stiff. And it gets dry feeling over time. And just dry and kind of tuggy. Whereas this one is just so creamy, the Epic Wear. And I mean, on my eyes, once the eyeshadow and the look is all together, you can't tell the difference. It looks the same. I think it's a really pretty option. Is it an exact, perfect, dead-on dupe? No, but it is a really, really close dupe. And eventually, I'm not done hunting. I will find a dead-on dupe. I will. I think ColourPop might have one, so I'm on the hunt. It's really hard to find this shade in an eye product at the drugstore. Now for eyeshadow, a dead-on exact freaking dupe of the Pillow Talk Quad, which retails for $55. You can pick up the CoverGirl Clean Color palette in Dreamy Pink for $13.99. and it looks exactly the same. It is so stunning on the eyes. It has that wet sheen to it, just like the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows have. I've used and loved Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows. I know their texture, their formula, and this, oh, it's so good. Now, it's not quite as silky as Charlotte Tilbury's products, but it is a damn good formula here. It performs like any other high-end palette, in my opinion, and it is from CoverGirl. CoverGirl has done something amazing with these little clean color palettes, and they're clean. They're talc-free, paraben-free, what else is it? Fragrance-free, and vegan. So you're getting some really nice perks here with the CoverGirl one. And I mean, I haven't seen a eyeshadow palette at the drugstore so dead on to the Pillow Talk quad as this one. And that was another thing that I was always on the hunt for, was a dupe of. I didn't want to spend $55 on a quad that I might not wear every single day of my life. And my friend had picked it up. I swatched and played with hers a little bit. And girl, this is the same damn thing right here. It's just not quite as, the shimmers aren't as silky feeling as Charlotte Tilbury's shimmers. I do have one of her larger palettes, and they have just this silky slip to them that's very kind of silicone-y. This doesn't quite have that feel, but it is gorgeous and looks amazing on the lid. Like, it looks wet with shimmer and shine, and I feel like this is a formula that even mature lids can enjoy and play with and not exacerbate texture. The mattes in here blend absolutely beautifully. Hands down, like, this is a 10 out of 10 great palette and just an exact dupe. Like, I don't think you could find a better dupe at the drugstore than this right here. And I've tried to find stuff similar because I just didn't want to spend that $55 because that's a lot for a quad. And finally, for lashes, we have the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes Volumizing Lengthening Mascara in the Dream Pop shade. This retails for $29 and is essentially a burgundy mascara. Now, I found from L'Oreal the Voluminous Burgundy, which retails for $9.99. Now, I do think the Charlotte Tilbury one is a little bit warmer, like with the Pillow Talk eyeliner. It has a little bit more red in it, whereas the Burgundy from L'Oreal is a little touch more purple and a little bit deeper, but I still think it is beautiful. A beautiful formula, beautiful mascara. Looks pretty close on the eyes. I don't think anyone's going to point it out and say that it's not Pillow Talk. Like, it looks pretty freaking close, right? And I mean, for $29 for a color mascara, I don't want to spend that for a mascara for some that's colored. I refuse to spend high-end prices for any mascara. I'm being real with you there. There is no need, because the drugstore has got the mascara game on lock. They know what they're doing. And I think the L'Oreal Voluminous is a classic formula. It's one you kind of have to build up a little bit, but you get the most fluttery, beautiful lashes from it. And I mean, I think it looks great. And the burgundy shade is such a wearable color. Even though it is a color, it's still so wearable and looks so beautiful, especially to me in the fall. I think it's gorgeous. And it's something a little bit different than wearing like a brown black or just a black mascara. They also have an olive, like a deep forest green that is amazing, by the way. But I love the burgundy one. I think it is so damn close to the Dream Pop shade from the Pillow Talk mascara that why would you even want to spend that much? I don't know if the formula is outstanding on the Charlotte Tilbury one. It might be. I've heard good things. But I can tell you the L'Oreal Voluminous is a beautiful formula. And the lighter your lashes, the more vibrant the color will look, of course. And I think it looks so pretty, and it makes blue and green eyes look so vibrant. Same with any of these products on the eyes like today. They really flatter blue and green eyes, but I also think they're like beautiful on anybody. The next dupe is for the Pillow Talk lip liner. I cannot find one that is exactly the same, but I actually found one that is quite similar that I think looks better than the Pillow Talk liner. I feel like the Pillow Talk lip liner is just a little pale. Like, it's just a little light. It looks too much like my actual lip color. Now, I know they have like medium and deep now, but I just haven't gotten around to picking those up because lip liner is another thing you can get from the drugstore and they are awesome and so much more affordable, especially ColourPop. I love ColourPop's lip liners. The shade that I found that was close in my collection was Brink. To me, it's close enough with a light hand that you really kind of couldn't tell the difference on the lips, and it has a little bit more depth to it that I really enjoy, but it has that same kind of warmth in it as well, that kind of dusty rose look, with just a hint more depth. To me, that makes it a little more flattering, in my opinion, because I like a little bit of a deeper lip liner. I like a little bit of drama there. And see, it's just a nice kind of warm, dusty rose, but nothing like crazy unique, right? Like, I feel like there's probably a million dupes of this at the drugstore. But within my collection, without purchasing something new, this is what I found. So I'm going to take Brink, which is the one I think is personally the closest. I mean, yeah, it's just a hair warmer. It has just a little bit more depth in it, and I think it's just a little bit prettier on the lips, if you ask me. And I prefer Brink. And here is BFF. Right here. And you see BFF is also just a bit warmer. They don't have that same pink undertone to them, but I think they're close enough that in application over your natural lip color, they kind of look the same. And yeah, personally, I just prefer Brink. I think it is just a nicer tone than the Pillow Talk liner. Like, I was kind of disappointed when I got my hands on the Pillow Talk lip liner, because I'm like, this just looks like my lip color. It didn't do enough for me, but I do think it's a beautiful formula on the Charlotte Tilbury's lip cheats. They are a nice formula. And then for lipstick, for the original Pillow Talk lipstick in the matte formula, I have the Milani Color Fetish matte lipstick in Secret. I was so excited about this one because this is one I came across organically on my own. And then I saw somebody else mention in a video, and I was like, damn it, I thought I found something finally by myself, but no. Apparently other people knew about it, I just didn't know about it, and I just happened to be swatching around in my collection and was like, hey, you know what, this sure does look like Pillow Talk. And that's what inspired this whole video, was this lipstick. So, man, I thought I was onto something there, but anyway, here is the original Pillow Talk lipstick. Swatched out, just dusty rose. They do have this, I think, in a medium and deep now as well. And I think I would really enjoy probably the medium and deep more than the original. And here is the Milani. I mean, that's the same lipstick color. Absolutely beautiful. I think the formula on both of them is really, really nice. The Milani formula is beautiful in these Color Fetish matte lipsticks. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous matte formula. Very similar to Charlotte Tilbury's matte formula. Looks the same on the lips, wears the same, feels the same. If anything, the Milani one might be a little nicer. I'm just saying. And the Milani one does come in at $9.99, where the Pillow Talk lipstick comes in at $35. And I mean, I don't know, I think they're really pretty. I don't know how it's read on camera, but in person, that looks like the same color to me. And that is some of my Charlotte Tilbury dupes that I have come across that I think are very, very, very good dupes. Let me know your thoughts down below if you have any more dupes you would like me to try out. I am probably going to pick up Halo Glow. I'm nosy at this point. I'm just nosy. That's kind of the point of this video, is that you get the vibe of Charlotte Tilbury and the Pillow Talk experience without spending a ton of money. We gotta save where we can these days. And I'm not about to go spend $55 on 4 eyeshadows anymore. I would much rather spend $13.99 on these CoverGirl palettes, because I do believe that they are really good. Really good. Don't sleep on these. These should be viral. They are that good. But yeah, let me know some of your favorite dupes below. If you have some suggestions of other ones I should check out. And if you'd like to see a video of just some other dupes from other brands, stuff like that, let me know down below, because I do kind of organically come across some dupes here and there, and sometimes I'm just nosy and I like to compare products. Now, I also think that's purely just because I'm a nosy person and I make videos. Now, if you're just the average person, I don't think you need to buy dupes if you already own the high-end version, and vice versa. I think also buying the dupe and just kind of getting a vibe of the color story on yourself, to see if you want to spend the extra money and save up or whatever for that higher end item. I think that's a nice way to go about it. So that's why I do think dupes are useful in that way. But if you already have the high end version, if you're not doing content and making comparison videos, I don't think you even need to bother with buying the drugstore one except for when you want to go to replace it. But yeah, let me know down below some of your favorite dupes. And how do you just feel about dupes in general, like brands intentionally duping products? I have mixed feelings about it. Like I like it in one way because it does make product more accessible and you can have that high-end experience. But in another way, I feel like it's tacky and just kind of shitty to rip off another brand, especially the brands that like intentionally copy all the way down to like the font and the packaging. Like was it like C Color that duped Tati, and they dupe like Natasha Denona constantly. And they basically make the exact same palette. To me, that's not fun. I like coming across products that are similar enough to where it feels like a dupe, but it's not intentionally copying the product. I think that's a lot of fun. And I don't know how I feel about e.l.f. doing these kind of exact dupe products. Like, for example, the Halo Glow and like the Woe Glow. I mean, down to the packaging, it looks just like the Super Goop. So I feel like they could have put out a glowy sunscreen and not made the packaging look so obvious. And I think Milani did it with a mascara lately, and they're doing it with the light wands and the contour wands. I don't know. I feel a little funny about it. How do you feel? Makeup Revolution doing that back in the day? Like they were just like nothing but a dupe brand when they first started. And that's why I kind of avoided them for a long time. Anyway, all that being said, let me know your thoughts down below on that kind of stuff and your favorite dupes if you have any. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.